Mr. Lloyd Dean.
Thank you, Ronell, and it's great to be here today to discuss this very important topic. As everyone hopefully has heard, Governor Newsom has called on everyone within and across California to do their part to help stop the spread of this virus, COVID-19. As a leading healthcare provider in the state of California, Dignity Health is proud to be partnering with three of our long-term partners, the Giants, the 49ers, and KNBR, to help provide over 500,000 masks in Northern California to support our communities. This initiative is part of Dignity Health's mission to support community health and to do everything that we can to ensure the protection of our communities. We very much appreciate the work of the Niners, the Giants, and KNBR in making this initiative happen. So that you know, the first 100,000 Giant Dignity masks will be distributed in the coming weeks. Those are going to go to fans, to hospitals, to underserved communities, to public safety, and city workers, food banks, housing organizations, and other community-based organizations. And then later this summer, the Niners Dignity Health mask will then also be distributed. I want to do a special thank you to our friends at KNBR who have graciously and kindly agreed to promote this campaign through their sponsorship of public safety, public service announcements. So this is an important initiative for California. It's important for the constituencies, and together we are very pleased to be able to lend our resources and our voice to help the constituency. So at this time, I now want to turn to my good friend, Larry Baer with the San Francisco Giants. Larry.
Thank you so much, Lloyd. And we salute and deeply value the partnership with all the participants in this as we're engaged, as we all know, in an unprecedented crisis. Dignity and Lloyd's leadership has been a partner in a number of initiatives with us for over 2 decades, going back to the creation of our new ballpark. The 49ers and Giants have a really deep and strong relationship through a Bay Area Unite platform. And even though we don't play in the same facility anymore, we feel very much tied to the hip with the 49ers, and KNBR has been a partner for over 40 years. So it really takes this kind of a partnership to make the impact we need to make. In a crisis, an unprecedented crisis like this, one of the things that I think a sports franchise can do powerfully is get the word out. We have a loud megaphone. And it is so important for us to be able to impact Governor Newsom's initiative in a powerful way in our communities. We have games starting a little bit before Jed. Actually, Monday night, we have our first exhibition game, Monday night, Tuesday night, and then our season starts Thursday in Los Angeles. And we are going to be delivering these messages about our masks and about wearing a mask throughout the broadcast. We will be delivering them throughout all of our social media. And we will try to reinforce as powerfully as we can with anybody within ears reach or watching games or in our communities, the importance of wearing masks. As Lloyd mentioned, the 100,000 Giants masks will be distributed immediately to the frontline workers, most importantly, public safety officers and Giants community partners, season ticket holders, etc. I will just close by saying I was at the ballpark yesterday as we were having workouts preparing for the season, and I was really proud of the players and the coaches because they were all actually wearing masks during the workouts and around the facility and in the dugout, etc. And I think that the role modeling that our athletes can do and have done around this issue can impress upon people in all demographic groups how important this public safety is and the issue is, and really emphasizing the science around what we need to do to turn the corner and in this state and in this community. So thank you for your partnership, Lloyd, and thank you for your partnership, Jed and KMBR. And Jed, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Lloyd. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's nice to go third because I think Larry and Lloyd hit the vast majority of things that we want to get across. But I just want to talk about teamwork. And we've got 40 million people in the state of California. And there's a huge epidemic. We have to worry about our frontline workers. We have to worry about so many people right now. We have to worry about our loved ones that are at risk. And we do need to do everything that we can to stop the spread of this disease. And the one thing that almost everybody can unite around is wearing a mask. It's not that difficult. I mean, Larry just made a great point of coaches and players wearing them. It's just something that if we want fans back in our ballparks, if we want to get back to life as normal, this is a very, very simple step for us all to be a part of. I'm looking forward to questions and I'm looking forward to getting to whatever the new normal is, but we have to work hard and we have to work together if we're going to get there. And I want to thank again, Larry, Lloyd, KNBR. I think one thing that we didn't say, I know the 49ers with KNBR's participation, we have some of the masks that are going to be there for fans' participation. So you can log into knbr.com. And I believe the Giants have this as well, where you can get your own either Giants or 49ers mask from knbr.com in competitions that they're hosting. But I think the gentleman before me said everything that there is to say, and I'm looking forward to questions. So thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much. I want to welcome all of our attendees and thank you guys for participating in this press conference. I do want to remind you, please submit your questions through the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. And with that, I'll get started. And this is to Larry and or Jed. Do you guys have a plan in place to potentially provide these masks in stadiums or at retail stores?
Go ahead. I'll go first, I guess, since I guess our games are starting within a week or so. So, we are honoring, obviously, the protocol in California and in San Francisco in our community. And we are not going to have fans, at the ballpark per se. We believe, and the really important point, I think, is that folks wear masks and we follow the science and socially distance. We'll get to a day where we can have fans back at the ballpark, at least in baseball. I think that so we're going to be distributing to certain members of the Giants community. And then, as Jed mentioned, if you wanted to if fans wanted to get a mask beyond those groups, there's going to be, I believe, starting next week, Monday, there'll be a process through KMBR. If you go to the KMBR website, kmbr.com/masks, you'll be able to enter an opportunity for yourself to get a mask. We're going to first get the masks out to all the frontline workers that are in need and the public safety officers that are in need of masks, and then go from there.
So we will have a plan to release masks to fans. We'll have the distribution information on 49ers.com later. But again, as Larry said, there won't be fans, at least early on in the season, and we're not sure when fans will return. But again, this is something that this is ever changing and ever evolving. And again, that's why I think we need to have teamwork and be able to work together and be adaptable and know that as that happens, as we get to, again, to a new normal, we will have many opportunities to be able to get this type of gear out to folks, so they can represent their team and be safe in the process.
I know we're in unprecedented times, but I want to know what makes an initiative like this so unique.
This is Lloyd. I would just make the following comment to that question. Number one, I think what makes it unique is the partnership and the commitment of KNBR, the commitment of the 49ers, the commitment of the Giants and Dignity Health to stepping out from their normal, if you will, base and constituency, and to be looking globally, statewide, and to come together and to ensure that we're doing everything that we can to ensure that our communities and that the residents and people within those communities are safe. And so we are putting our resources and our time and our effort to ensure, to the best of our ability, that we are a part of the solution.
And that's the key. I mean, it's the teamwork, and it's knowing that there's always going to be, to take a term from Larry's sport, there's always going to be a curveball. I mean, this has not been a straight line. Things have changed from the very beginning of COVID, and we've had starts and stops and openings and shutdowns, and there's lots of different things that are out there. But again, to this extent that we can work together and use our platforms and use the teamwork that we've built here to get the best information out, the best protective gear out for people, that's what we're going to do. And we need to work together in order to get through this. Again, with 40 million people in our wonderful state, we're 1/8 of the population of the United States of America. Like, California is the most important state in the country. We need to make sure that we lead the way and that we do the best job possible. And that's not going to be an individual effort. When I look at the governor, it's very easy to take shots at the governor. He's doing an unbelievable job, and his team are doing an unbelievable job of trying to keep those 40 million people as safe as possible and try to make sure that the economy keeps moving. Like, that's, we compete on the field, and it's hard to make decisions to win on the field. That's nothing like trying to make sure that 40 million people, number one, are safe and healthy, and number two, can continue to prosper like we have in California for such a long time. And that's where we ask all of our fans and everybody. And it's not just going to be Northern California. You guys start in LA, it's going to be LA. And there's rivalries on the field, but we're going to have to work together off the field with everybody in this state to make sure that we can come out stronger than we were before and keep people as safe as possible.
And the evidence is indisputable. I mean, it's, to Jed's point, I mean, we're talking about something here that is, masks and social distancing are it's part of the science. And I'm not sure that everybody understands, the governor, totally agree. The governor has done everything he can around this issue. Sometimes people are not following all the, his press conferences and his announcements, but they might follow sports, and they may follow 49ers releases and information, the Giants, and then the other franchises throughout the state. And, to the extent that young people can follow our games and have their heroes, and our heroes will be talking about wearing a mask, and they'll be holding up masks with their favorite team logo on them. That's powerful. And just, hats off to Dignity for taking the lead, partnering with both clubs, longtime partners, both franchises, to get this word out, powerfully.
Yeah, and just to add to what Larry and Jed have said, one of the things that I think is unique about this is that we know that it makes a difference. Number two, we know that it's simple. We're not asking for complex things to be done. The evidence is clear. You wear a mask, it helps prevent additional exposure. And number three, we know that it can help save lives. One of the concerns that we all have, I'm on the governor's task force, is getting the economy working again and getting it vibrant. But that's not going to happen without the cooperation of everybody. And one thing that we can all do, and it's the great equalizer, is wear a mask. It will save lives. It will help us be able to work our way through this virus where people can get back to their, as best as we can until we get a vaccination. People can get back into their, some sense of normalcy of their lives. And devoid of politics, wearing a mask is the one thing that we all can do.
And it's not just getting the economy back, it's getting everything back. You know, I mean, if you want your kids to go to school, if you want to go to a Giants game, if you want to go to a Niners game, if you want to go to a Warriors game, if you want to go to any of the games in the Bay Area, the sooner that we get this virus under control, the sooner those things can get back to, again, whatever the new normal is going to be. And for whatever reason that you choose to wear a mask, you can pick a myriad of reasons. Pick one of them and stick to that, and you know, say that to yourself. I mean, my wife's grandmother is 94 years old. You know, we usually have dinners with her on Tuesday nights. That was our norm. Now we're doing Zoom calls with Graham and the family. And it's like, you know, you want to see her. Like you want to see that person. So when you're wearing a mask, think about why you're doing it. If you want to go see Jimmy Garoppolo throw a touchdown, if you want to go see a home run at the ballpark, like, you know, say that when you're frustrated because you put one on, have something positive in your head of why you want to do it.
Yeah. And, you know, we're all experiencing some element of pandemic fatigue. And one of the questions I'm asked daily, sometimes out of frustration, but really good people out of the kindness of their heart, is what can I do to help? What can I do to help? And I say, you can help by wearing a mask, because it's not just helping you, it's helping our community, it's helping our friends, our family members, and it's helping the state and our society get through something that we've never seen since 1918. And it's simple. Put the darn mask on.
You know, and sometimes impromptu efforts within our organizations, again, can set the tone. And we're trying, you know, I think anybody who has a company, big or small, can set examples and be role models. The other day we had a Zoom press announcement with Buster Posey announcing that he was opting out of the season. And our manager, Gabe Kapler, got on the Zoom wearing a mask. If the dignity masks had been out, he would have been wearing the dignity mask, but he was wearing a different mask. And he answered questions wearing the mask, just to emphasize the fact that we've got to all have that message. And it's part of our lives. It's part of our daily life. It's, you know, it's literally when I walk out the door, it's mask in hand. And then on my covering my nose and my mouth. And that's just a critical part of where we are in the world. And, you know, to Jed's point, we're all thinking about our families. And if you're thinking about your families, you know, and our future, we've got to be get this permeating our community and follow the lead of the governor.
Just a reminder, if anyone has any questions, make sure you use the Q&A function at the bottom of the chat. We do have a question in from Jennifer Lee Chan of NBC Sports Bay Area. She asks, how can we keep mask wearing from being a political issue?
Well, you know, I'll give you the, you know, as one of the nation's largest healthcare provider, I think the difference is if we look at the difference between life and death, and we look at being sick, and we look at the fact that we are seeing younger and younger people testing positive. I think those very facts depoliticize it, because the equation is simple. If we prevent further spread or control of the spread of the virus, it saves lives. It saves people suffering. It saves our family members. It helps us get back to, as we spoke about, our community. It helps people get back to work. It helps our children be able to go to school, and allows us to begin to move and to control this. I don't see the politics in that. I think those are life-related decisions. So that issue about, am I being controlled if I wear a mask? I simplify to, if you care about your community, if you care about your family, if you care about society, and you know that there's something that you can do to save any one of those, as simple as wearing a mask, I just do not accept a political, if you will, discussion on that. What's important is those things happening so that we can move forward as a society.
All right. Well, Lloyd, thank you so much. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Jed. I can't wait to see Garoppolo and Kittle wearing their masks, Jed York. And I can't wait to see the panda wearing one for us, Larry. And Lloyd, this is the ultimate spreading of human kindness, wearing those
And now
masks.
we have our mask. I want you to know, Jed,
Yes.
Larry, and I, we have our mask. We just wanted people to be able to hear our messages. And I'm putting right now on one of them right here.
Mask up, Lloyd. Yes, everybody wash your hands and sanitize. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us this morning. And Kiana, I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending today. This session will be posted online following today's session. Additional questions or requests for interviews should be directed to the Giants, Niners, or Dignity Health. Media contacts are posted along with today's news release. With that, you guys be safe out there. Don't forget to wear your mask. And thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy.